Most people think a window is just a sheet of glass in a frame. It lets light in, it lets you see outside. And if you're lucky, it actually opens. But windows come in dozens of different designs, each built to solve a specific problem: ventilation, security, energy savings, sound insulation, or simply the desire to frame a beautiful view. Some slide, some swing outward, some tilt inward, and some never open at all. There are even windows engineered to survive hurricanes, cut your energy bills, block outside noise, or clean themselves. Today we're breaking down every major type of window, how each one works, where it came from, and where you're most likely to find it. Let's start with the simplest one. A fixed window. A fixed window doesn't open. Its only job is to let natural light in and offer an unobstructed view. Because it has no moving parts, it's one of the most energy-efficient window types out there. No gaps, no hinges, no tracks wearing down over time. That also means almost zero maintenance, just an occasional cleaning. You'll find these in modern homes, office buildings, stairwells, and high-rises, especially in continuous glass facades where the building's climate system handles ventilation another way. Sometimes the best window is the one that never has to move. Next is the single-hung window. This is one of the most common residential windows in North America, with roots going back to colonial architecture in the 1600s and 1700s. It has two sashes, but only the bottom one moves. The upper sash stays fixed while the lower one slides vertically along built-in tracks. Because only one part moves, the mechanism is simpler, cheaper to manufacture, and easier to repair when something jams. That's why it's remained the standard choice in residential construction for generations. It's the kind of window you've probably passed hundreds of times without ever knowing it had a technical name. Double-hung windows look almost identical. The difference is one detail that changes everything. Here, both sashes move independently. You can open just the top, just the bottom, or both at once. That creates an interesting airflow effect. Warm air, which naturally rises, escapes through the upper opening, while cooler air enters through the bottom. A small convection cycle happening right in your window. Many modern double-hung windows also tilt inward, which makes cleaning both sides of the glass much easier. No ladder or stepping outside required. It looks almost identical to a single-hung window, until you try to open the top. Sliding windows work differently. Instead of moving up and down, the glass panels slide sideways along tracks. With fewer moving parts and no need to fight gravity, this type tends to be more durable and simple to operate day to day. It's especially popular in apartments, modern homes, and rooms with wide openings, like living rooms and balconies. Instead of lifting weight against gravity, you're just pushing glass across a smooth surface, a motion so easy that many people prefer it for that reason alone. Casement windows are hinged on one side, like a door. A crank or handle swings the entire sash outward. When fully open, the glass acts almost like a sailboat's sail, catching passing breezes and funneling fresh air into the room. Because the sash presses tightly against the frame when closed, this design offers some of the best sealing and energy efficiency among windows that actually open. That's why it's so common above kitchen sinks, where pushing a window upward would be awkward or simply impossible given the layout. Awning windows also use hinges, but mounted at the top instead of the side. The bottom swings outward while the top stays attached, creating a small roof over the opening. That detail makes all the difference. These windows can stay partially open even during light rain because the tilt of the glass naturally deflects water away from the opening. They're frequently installed in bathrooms, basements, and as an accent above larger windows. Nature might be raining outside. Fresh air doesn't have to stop coming in. Hopper windows work almost the opposite way. They're hinged at the bottom and tilt inward from the top. They're common in basements, laundry rooms, and small bathrooms because opening inward makes them much easier to clean. No leaning outside the building required. Since they're usually placed higher on the wall, they provide ventilation without sacrificing privacy. Small window, big airflow. Bay windows project outward from the exterior wall, forming a small extension that adds interior space. They're typically made of 3 connected windows set at an angle, letting sunlight in from multiple directions throughout the day and creating that cozy little nook for a bench or reading chair. They're widely used in living rooms and dining rooms because they make a space feel noticeably larger than it actually is. Sometimes a window doesn't just let you look outside, it changes the shape of the entire room. Bow windows are a cousin of the bay window, but use 4, 5, or even 6 connected panels. Instead of sharp angles, they create a smooth, almost semicircular curve. The result is a wider panoramic view and a more elegant architectural look. It's not unusual for a bow window to become the visual centerpiece of an entire home's facade. Garden windows project outward like a miniature greenhouse, with glass on the front, sides, and often the top as well. That setup lets light in from several angles across the day, ideal for growing herbs, flowers, or small houseplants indoors. They're extremely popular above kitchen sinks, essentially functioning as a tiny hanging garden. It's basically giving your plants their own little room, attached right to your house. Picture windows are built to maximize the view, not ventilation. It's a large fixed pane that doesn't open at all. Rather than just being an opening, it works almost like a living painting, framing the landscape around it. You'll find these in homes overlooking mountains, lakes, forests, beaches, or a city skyline, places where the scenery itself becomes part of the interior decor. Skylights are installed directly into the roof, bringing natural light into rooms with little available wall space, like interior bathrooms or hallways without side windows. Modern skylights can be fixed or motorized for ventilation, and some come with rain sensors that close automatically when the weather turns. They're common in bathrooms, hallways, kitchens, and attics. Sometimes the brightest wall in a room is actually the ceiling. Roof windows look similar to skylights, but they're designed for spaces where people can easily reach them. Unlike a fixed skylight, they usually open fully, and they're especially common in converted attics and loft spaces. Many rotate around a central pivot, allowing for both ventilation and easy cleaning from inside. The roof becomes just another wall, only angled. Transom windows are small windows installed above doors or larger windows. Historically, they allowed for ventilation even when the main door stayed shut, a valuable feature before air conditioning existed. Today, they're used more for the aesthetic and for boosting natural light. They're small, but they can dramatically brighten an entryway. Clear-story windows sit high up near the ceiling. Their elevated position lets daylight in without compromising privacy. They're common in churches, museums, schools, gyms, and modern homes, because being placed so high lets sunlight spread deep into the room without giving up wall space. Sometimes the best view isn't outside, it's the sunlight itself. Glass block windows are made from thick individual glass blocks joined together. Instead of offering a clear view, they let light pass through while preserving privacy. The textured glass distorts shapes but still brightens the room. They're widely used in bathrooms, garages, stairwells, and basements. You know someone's out there. You just don't know exactly who. Impact windows are engineered to withstand hurricanes and severe storms. They use laminated glass made of multiple bonded layers, so even if the surface cracks on impact, the inner layer holds the fragments together and keeps the window intact. They're common in coastal regions prone to hurricanes, built to withstand flying debris that would shatter ordinary glass in seconds. The goal isn't making the glass unbreakable, it's making sure that when it breaks, it doesn't become dangerous. Smart windows represent one of the newest technologies in modern architecture. Some use electrochromic glass that changes tint electronically. Others adjust automatically to sunlight, reducing glare and heat entering the building. Certain models can even be controlled through a smartphone or integrated into home automation systems. Instead of covering the window with blinds or curtains, the glass itself changes. Finally, self-cleaning windows. They use a special microscopic coating that reacts with sunlight. Ultraviolet light breaks down the dirt building up on the surface. Then, rainwater spreads evenly across the glass, washing away the loosened debris without leaving streaks. This technology dramatically cuts down on the need for manual cleaning. It's probably the closest thing a window has to washing itself. From simple fixed glass to intelligent smart windows, every single one performs the same basic job, connecting the inside with the outside. But every design solves that challenge in a different way. Some maximize airflow. Others improve insulation. Some increase safety. Others create panoramic views or flood a room with natural light. Modern windows are no longer just pieces of glass. They're engineered systems built for energy efficiency, comfort, security, ventilation, and architectural beauty. So the next time you look through a window, remember, you're not just looking through glass, you're looking through hundreds of years of engineering, architecture, and innovation. And now you know every major type of window.